Imagine, just for a moment, that your body is a house. It's the home you've lived in for 5, maybe 6 decades. It holds all your memories, your triumphs, your history. But lately, have you noticed? The plumbing is starting to get a little rusty.
The foundation feels a bit stiff when you wake up in the morning.
Maybe the electrical wiring, your memory and focus, flickers just a little more than it used to. We spend our lives maintaining our cars and renovating our homes, but when it comes to this vessel, our body, we often accept these creaks and leaks as just part of getting old. But what if I told you that the repair kit you need isn't found at the pharmacy counter? What if the most powerful tool to reinforce your bones, clear out your arteries, and silence that chronic inflammation is actually hiding in your kitchen cabinet right now? I'm talking about chia seeds. Now, before you roll your eyes and click away, thinking this is just another trendy superfood for millennials making overpriced smoothies, hear me out. Because if you are over 50, this tiny, unassuming seed isn't a trend. It is biological necessity. You see, most people think of chia seeds as just a topping. But biologically speaking, they are miniature batteries. They are nature's most concentrated weapon against the specific problems we face as we age: high cholesterol, brittle bones, dangerous blood sugar spikes, and that stubborn belly fat that just won't go away. This isn't about Mayan history or ancient warriors. This is about your future. In the next 15 minutes, we are going to look at exactly what happens to your physiology when you introduce just 2 tablespoons of this powerhouse into your daily routine. We're going to look at the science of how it acts like a sponge for toxins in your gut, and how it essentially replumbs your cardiovascular system. But, and this is crucial, there is a right way and a dangerous way to eat them. Get it wrong, and you could cause more harm than good. So, grab a glass of water, settle in, and let's talk about how to renovate your body, 1 spoonful at a time. Welcome to your health restoration journey. Let's start with the most common complaint I hear from people over 50. It's that feeling of morning rust. You wake up, swing your legs out of bed, and for the first few steps, your knees protest.
Your back feels stiff.
You might think, well, that's just aging. But science has a different name for it. It's called chronic inflammation. Or as some researchers are now calling it, inflammaging. Think of inflammation like a low-grade fire smoldering inside the walls of your house. You can't see the flames from the outside, but over time, that heat warps the wood, weakens the drywall, and damages the structure. In your body, this fire is the root cause of arthritis, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's. You don't need painkillers to mask the smoke, you need something to put out the fire. This is where the chia seed puts on its firefighter helmet. While they look like simple seeds, they are packed with a heavy artillery of antioxidants, specifically caffeic acid and quercetin. Now, you don't need to memorize those names, but you should know what they do. Imagine caffeic acid as a cooling agent. It seeks out those inflamed areas in your body, the hot spots in your joints and tissues, and begins to cool them down.
And quercetin?
Studies suggest it helps reduce the risk of heart disease by fighting against free radicals, those rogue sparks that damage your cells. Unlike synthetic anti-inflammatories that can be harsh on your stomach lining, these seeds do the work gently, naturally, and effectively. But cooling the fire is only step 1. Step 2 is lubrication. You've probably been told to eat more salmon for omega-3s.
And that's great advice.
But let's be honest, cooking fish every single day is expensive, and sometimes you just don't want the hassle. Here is the game changer. Chia seeds are one of the richest plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. By weight, they contain more omega-3s than salmon. When you eat these seeds daily, you are essentially oiling the hinges of your stiff joints. You are providing your body with the raw materials it needs to improve flexibility and reduce that grinding sensation in your knees. So, by simply sprinkling these seeds onto your breakfast, you're dampening the fires of inflammation and greasing your rusty joints. You start to move easier.
The morning stiffness fades a little faster.
But repairing the frame of the house is useless if the plumbing is clogged. And for many of us, the most dangerous clutter isn't in our garage, it's in our arteries. Let's talk about how these tiny seeds can scrub your cardiovascular system clean. Now, let's talk about the plumbing. For many of us, the most stressful day of the year isn't tax day, it's the day we get our blood work back from the doctor. You look at those numbers, cholesterol is up. Triglycerides are high. Blood pressure is creeping into the danger zone. The doctor might mention statins, or strict diets. It feels like your body's pipes are slowly clogging up with plaque, forcing your heart to work overtime just to pump blood through a narrowed system.
This is the silent killer of the modern age.
But what if you had a tiny pipe cleaner working for you every single day? Here is the secret weapon of the chia seed. It's all about the gel. Have you ever noticed what happens when you mix chia seeds with water? Within minutes, they swell up and form a thick, gooey gel. This isn't just interesting chemistry, it is a life-saving mechanism. This gel consists of soluble fiber. When you eat it, that sticky quality doesn't disappear. Inside your digestive system, this gel acts like a sponge. It binds to cholesterol and bile acids in your gut before your body can absorb them into your bloodstream. Instead of that fat clogging your arteries, the chia gel traps it and escorts it out of your body safely. It's essentially taking out the trash before it can pile up in your heart. The results speak for themselves. Studies indicate that the specific fiber profile in chia seeds, combined with those omega-3s we talked about, can help lower LDL, the bad cholesterol, and bump up HDL, the good kind. And there is a bonus benefit: blood pressure. Just like releasing a pressure valve on an overpressurized boiler, the antioxidants in chia seeds, like chlorogenic acid, help your blood vessels relax and dilate. Less resistance means your heart doesn't have to pound so hard. That means less risk of stroke, and more peace of mind every time you wrap the cuff around your arm. So, we've cooled the inflammation, and we've started clearing out the pipes. Your internal engine is running smoother. But a house with clean pipes is useless if the pillars holding it up are crumbling. As we age, our bones become porous, fragile, and brittle. You might be drinking milk to fix it, but what if I told you that milk isn't the best source of calcium in your fridge anymore? Let's look at how to reinforce your foundation. Let's talk about the foundation. There is a specific fear that haunts many of us after 60. It's not just the fear of pain, it's the fear of falling. One slip in the bathroom, one missed step on the stairs, and life can change instantly. Doctors call it osteoporosis, but it feels like living in a house built with chalk instead of concrete. For decades, we've been told the solution is simple: drink your milk. But for many of us, dairy isn't a friend anymore. It causes bloating, discomfort, or inflammation. So we stop drinking it, and our bones pay the price. What if I told you there is a way to get your calcium without the dairy? Here is a fact that surprises almost everyone: ounce for ounce, chia seeds contain more calcium than whole milk.
That's right.
These tiny black seeds are a calcium powerhouse. But here is the catch, and this is why chia wins: biology isn't just about input, it's about absorption. Dumping calcium into your body is useless if your bones don't know how to use it. Think of building a brick wall. Calcium is the brick. But you can't build a wall with just bricks, they'll topple over. You need mortar to hold them together. In your body, that mortar is magnesium, phosphorus, and a trace mineral called boron. Most calcium supplements lack these partners. But chia seeds? They are the complete construction crew. They bring the calcium, the bricks, the magnesium and phosphorus, the mortar, and the boron, the architect, all in one package. This synergy helps remineralize your bones, turning that porous chalk back into solid concrete. Imagine walking down those stairs without gripping the railing for dear life. Imagine gardening without worrying that your hip might give out. That is the freedom of a strong foundation. But a strong house also needs to be a light house. Carrying too much extra weight puts unnecessary stress on that foundation. Let's talk about how these seeds can help you shed that stubborn midsection weight without starving yourself. Now, let's address the elephant in the room:
The midsection.
There is a frustrating reality we all face after 50. You eat the same food you ate in your 30s, you do the same activities, yet somehow, the weight starts clinging to your waistline. It feels like your metabolism has gone on strike. And then there is the energy crash. You enjoy a nice lunch, but an hour later,
You can barely keep your eyes open.
that isn't just getting old. That is your blood sugar taking you on a dangerous roller coaster ride. And that ride often leads to type 2 diabetes. So how do we fight back without starving ourselves? This is where the chia seed performs its magic trick: expansion. Remember that gel we talked about? Because chia seeds absorb up to 12 times their weight in water, they physically expand in your stomach. Think of it as a natural gastric balloon, but completely safe and temporary. It triggers your fullness hormones, telling your brain, hey, we are satisfied. Put down the snacks. You're not fighting willpower anymore, you're using biology.
You eat less because you want less. But the real miracle happens in your blood.
When you eat carbohydrates, bread, pasta, potatoes, they usually rush into your bloodstream like a flash flood, spiking your insulin. That spike forces your body to store fat. The fiber in chia seeds builds a dam across that river. It slows down the digestion of carbohydrates, turning that flash flood into a steady, gentle stream of energy. Instead of a sugar spike followed by a crash, You get sustained focus.
You skip the afternoon nap, and your body stops storing every calorie as fat.
So, we have a seed that fights inflammation, cleans your arteries, rebuilds your bones, and regulates your weight.
It sounds almost too perfect. And honestly,
It is, unless you make one specific mistake. There is a way to eat chia seeds that can actually send you to the emergency room. I want to show you exactly how to prepare them safely so you get 100% of the benefits and 0% of the risk. Please listen closely. There was a case report presented to the American College of Gastroenterology about a man who experienced intense swallowing difficulties after eating dry chia seeds and then drinking water. Here is what happened. The seeds didn't make it to his stomach. They expanded in his esophagus. Because they absorb water so instantly, they formed a solid blockage that expanded against the delicate walls of his throat. I see people on the internet tossing a dry spoonful into their mouths like it's popcorn.
do not do this.
Especially if you have any history of swallowing difficulties, which is common as we get older. These seeds are thirsty, and if you don't give them water in a glass, they will take that moisture from your own tissues. The rule of thumb is simple: hydrate the seed before you feed the body. The best way to consume them is to let them fully expand in a glass or a jar first. We call this chia gel. Mix 1 part chia seeds with 4 parts liquid. Stir it well so they don't clump, and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. Or better yet, do it the night before. When you see that gelatinous coating around the seed, that means it's activated. It's safe, it's easier to digest, and the nutrients are ready to be absorbed. You don't need to be a master chef to do this. Here are the 3 easiest ways to get your daily dose. The morning elixir ***, add a spoonful of your pre-soaked chia gel to a glass of warm lemon water. It's the perfect morning shower for your insides. The oatmeal upgrade ***, stir them into your morning oats or yogurt. They add a nice texture without altering the flavor. The smoothie booster ***, if you blend them into a smoothie, they thicken it up beautifully, keeping you full until lunch.
2 tablespoons a day. That's all it takes.
So, look at what we've built in just 15 minutes. We've discovered a way to douse the silent fires of inflammation. We found a tool to scrub your arteries clean, reinforce your skeletal foundation, and gently regulate your body's energy. It's amazing, isn't it? That nature packed all of this complex machinery into a seed no bigger than a pinhead. It is proof that you don't always need drastic surgeries or a cabinet full of synthetic pills to reclaim your vitality. Sometimes, the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones.
Now, I have a challenge for you.
And don't worry, it's an easy one. I want you to try the Chia Ritual for just 14 days. Go to the store, grab a bag of organic chia seeds, soak them tonight, and have your first 2 tablespoons tomorrow morning.
Then, come back to this video.
I want you to comment down below and tell me, do you have more energy in the afternoon?
Do your knees feel a little lighter?
Your story might be the inspiration someone else needs to start their own journey. Remember, your body is the only house you have to live in. It has served you well for decades. Now, it's time for you to serve it back.
Start small. Start today.
Because it's never too late to feel great again.
Here's to your health.
I'll see you in the next video.